Max Caulfield is not a time traveler. Daniel Diaz is not a telekinetic, Rachel Amber is not a pyrokinetic, and Safi Luen Fayad is not a shapeshifter. Now that I'm finished, sort of for the moment at least, lecturing everybody on how to properly parse narratives and appreciate things, this is going to be more about a long-standing theory I have had about the different kinds of abilities that characters in Life is Strange exhibit, and why they're never as simple as any of the characters think they are. Let's go ahead and start with Rachel Amber, since it's somewhat controversial whether or not she has any abilities to speak of at all. In Life is Strange Before the Storm, there's a moment where Rachel, in a fit of rage, knocks over a burning trash can, and the fire spreads from that, goes up a tree, instantly conflagrates, and then that becomes a massive wildfire that takes over the region. Now, this in and of itself isn't particularly evidence of anything supernatural, but people did notice it was a little strange that the wildfire seemed to subside apropos of nothing after she settles her anger with her father. There is also a fan theory that goes around from time to time that the storm itself is Rachel Amber, and that her taking out Arcadia Bay is in equal parts revenge for the way it treated her, but also an attempt to bring Chloe back to her. I'm not the fondest of this. I think there are some cool metaphorical implications, but I do think that theory kind of ends up at odds with Rachel being the ghost doe. In any case, both of these things are purely theoretical because actually Deck 9 has outright denied that they were thinking about this when they put that in game, because they don't want to do cape shit. Despite what some of you may think, they don't want to do cape shit. Regardless, for the sake of being a fun experiment today, let's imagine that Rachel is somehow both the storm and the fire. That doesn't quite connect, does it? There is something that would make it connect, however, and that's why I think this is particularly an entertaining way to look at this. I first came up with this little, turn of phrase when I was replaying the original game a few years ago, and I remembered that someone in the game refers to Rachel Amber as a force of nature. And when you think about it in that way, it, again, not intentional by anyone's design, but it is fascinating. Remember, it's not like she conjures the fire from nothing, right? She lights the picture on fire, puts it in the trash can, and then screams out of intense, desperate anger, and the wind comes through and blows the trash can over. So you might be thinking, well, doesn't she just control the wind or the weather? And it's like, well, not exactly, remember? Because the wildfire doesn't go out until she settles her anger. Wildfires are forces of nature, and they do occur on their own. Tornadoes, storms, hurricanes, these are forces of nature. An animal is a representation of nature, even if not a direct force of it. Whether or not you want to believe that Rachel is the storm, like I said, it's not really in my personal wheelhouse. Whether or not you want to believe Rachel has powers at all, I'm on the fence about that one myself. No matter what path you want to choose, if you think that Rachel has a power, it doesn't make sense that she is a pyrokinetic. It makes the most sense that she controls nature. This is the most speculative of this series, though. However, next time we are going to cover Safi and how she is not a shapeshifter.